This week on Hermitcraft.
Etho.
It's just a red shirt. It's not a big deal.
This is pink.
No, it's red.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is LoyXP, and let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. The beginning of a new year seems like a good time to take a look back and enjoy the things we have accomplished, with shaders no less. Good Times with Scar, for one, does a comprehensive rundown of all the things he's built this far into the season, which coincidentally would be a pretty convenient jumping on point for anyone not willing to sit through 44 videos of us explaining Hermitcraft to them.
But in the end, in a nutshell, this entire thing is basically just a giant Minecraft trading hall.
In a similar fashion, False Symmetry gives her viewers a taste of all things false, from her cyber town down to the nether.
You know what, at least from in here, just the lava, the blue, the orange, and the purple. Like, the contrast between those three colors just works so well.
Thing is, the story of these builds is far from over. As pretty as they are, there are even bigger plans on the horizon, as False wants to take the inside of her base into a more survivally useful direction. The tour is not without its surprises either, as we get to see, for more or less the first time on YouTube, the charity haul she had to put together for the many live streams the group has done, which False now plans to incorporate more into the main series.
Generally speaking, this build is meant to be quite simple and banana False, don't ask any questions.
Grian takes a different approach to showcasing the beauty of the server. In the spirit of community, he highlights top 10 of his favourite builds from this season, not necessarily his own, in fact, mostly built by his server mates.
Of course, this is 100% my opinion, and you may disagree with that, and that's okay.
This is a pretty solid place for anyone who wants more Hermitcraft in their life but doesn't know who to watch. Short answer is, a bunch of people, but if you're watching the recap, you probably already knew that. XB Crafted realizes that while his apocalyptic city and futuristic floating base are catching people's eyes, they're missing how much effort has gone into the town of Casa over the hill, so he puts a bunch of work into the area between the two, clearing out a more formal road to his skeleton spawner and adding a man-made reservoir between them.
It's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just don't look at it. Don't look at it.
One hermit you can't overlook Casa is Corrales, who you may remember minigamed his way into swapping holiday homes with XB. He should feel right at home. It even has the same piano as his old place.
I love it, XB. And is that sheep included? That one over there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's your pet sheep.
We quickly find out that Corrales plays House Flipper on Nightmare difficulty, as he demolishes the mansion offered to him and builds a new one in its place.
It was heavily damaged, like the black mold, as we can see over here. And I just couldn't save it. I couldn't save it as.
Returning the hospitality, he also invites XB to take a stroll across the harbour town and enjoy the luxuries a pre-apocalypse society has to offer.
You have two toilets for all those square poops coming out. What can you wish for?
Anyway, Cub fan is Mary Poppins, y'all.
Swimming and flying and hopefully not dying, mining for diamonds and exploring highlands, TNT traps that are triggered by string, these are a few of my favorite things.
Having finished the lapis block ceiling of the pyramid, Cub focuses on the floor of the place, which is pretty hard to focus on, seeing as how the whole design is some sort of magic eye picture. Though even working with glazed terracotta won't hurt him as much as sustaining the chorus fruit-only diet after losing the turf war bet. In case the rogue teleportation drops him off too close to a lava lake, Cub stops by Azuma's giant Potion Brewery and grabs a shulker full of fire resistance, though it's mainly for his nether hub tunnel and other potentially nefarious reasons.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
So, think big. You can take shulker boxes out of here, and it just so happens that all 15 types are currently stocked.
Nice.
Every type of potion is here in stupid quantities.
Azuma Void gets a pleasant surprise himself now that Tango Tech's advent calendar has him covered. X, of course, gets a nice supply of bottled dragon's breath that he so desperately needed for the brewery project.
That's literally the perfect present. I'm still going to build a dragon's breath farm. But that... oh my days, the brewer gets finished today!
Another hard resource for the thing are the turtle helmets, and while Azuma has a farm for the scoots, its presentation needed some work. With plenty of familiar concrete in B colours, X spices up the place by stabbing it with a giant sword. Or maybe it's a giant italic T, short for turtle.
Somehow, when I started working with this angle, I just got the idea of the sword in the stone, stuck into the ground, stuck in my mind.
In other iconic concrete news, now his latest blueprints for a redstone cash register are all tested out, Mumbo decides it's time to install it at Pacific, and integration hell, as he calls it, arrives in the form of the ocean.
And expanding a redstone contraption into an ocean is never a particularly wise idea. Regardless of that fact, this system is starting to look really cool, isn't it?
Nevertheless, the two purpose-built banking modules are installed on either side of the Pacific skyscraper lobby, which does involve taking out the palm trees, and then persuading Iskall that it involves taking out the palm trees.
That is absolutely awesome. So basically, you have your own account in Pacific. Yep. We are now a bank.
Yeah.
Hypnotized is more fortunate to just work with villagers who can be easily swayed your way with just an apple and a swap of the block. Having devised an in-depth and efficient apple farm by leveling a single farmer, he can convert as many as he wants into the undead and back, which is how Hypno's trading hall starts to fill in with quality discounts on everything. Admittedly, this is less hypnosis and more violent negotiation.
I wonder if this was a villager that I accidentally enderpearled into. If it turns out that he doesn't have really low trades or his prices increase over time or something like that, I guess we can swap him out and try and get a fresh one that I don't enderpearl into.
After all this hard work, Hypno takes a vacation to the holiday area, and that's how he found out you can't skip a single week on this server without a massive snowman popping up somewhere.
Wow. Oh, there's no top to the hat. There's no top.
The oversized snow golem is of course the work of Jevin. Miraculously not sick of circles after building these snowy spheres, Jev can be found at his base, punching a hole in the center. The indentation is to house a brand new super smelter 4 times the size of his old one, and many times as fancy, with its automated inputs and outputs under the glass floor.
So our gold... we got gold fountains, guys. That's awesome.
There's about to be a whole lot more glass floors on the server because Shady E's just got its first intern. BOO turns up for his first shift, which naturally means orientation and some on-site training. Once the rookie has tried on his new uniform, Etho trains him in pest relocation and sends him out to do the rounds.
Oh, look at us.
Little does he know, B-Dubs already has plans to relocate some pests of his own. Scar has invited him to develop some property at Aquay Town, so B-Dubs designs a creeper farm to fit in a condemned apartment building. He needs some cats to relocate the creepers off the platforms, so he gets Scar's help to breed his own. With the gunpowder factory fully functional, and with plans for a TNT shop next door, B-Dubs gets back on the grift and delivers free glass to everyone who isn't Etho. Still looking for other ways to hurt hermits, Etho does a bunch more work on the second level of his half-heart precision parkour course, taking advantage of honey and target block mechanics aplenty. He's still got enough building mojo left in the tank to finish decorating his shulker box reloading room, and when that's done, he still gets to troll B-Dubs and dock some more.
Yeah, it's Etho, so I gotta be a bit careful. It could be something really, Etho-ish.
Doc turns up at Shady E's begging for money, which goes about as well as you'd expect.
I got something nasty for you to eat here for money, if you want to do it.
Spider eyes.
We got 1,000 spider eyes for you to chew through here for 77 diamonds.
Wow.
Now on the spider eye diet, the Goatfather has a more difficult time than usual setting up a cobblestone generator, mostly because the goat cave is full of mobs who keep trying to steal his stuff.
Absolute disaster. I have no pickaxe at the moment and my precious pants are gone.
But the new Ilmango designed Doc refined cobble farm is nice and productive, supplying the raw materials he'll need to build observers and dispensers for the foreseeable future. And finally there's Impulse, who is no stranger to mobs interfering with his farms. After deciding to rid himself of the drowned problem under his base by draining the entire thing, he demobs the kelp farm and builds it up to full height, then turns 90 degrees and does exactly the same thing with melons. A pumpkin farm would have followed, but he gets diverted by the fact that there's clearly a slime chunk nearby and starts workshopping ideas for local organic slime farming.
And that may be the way that we do it. Forget about this level. We can probably go down another 25 levels before we start hitting bedrock.
Last of all, he swings by Lamps Plus to see what BOO has done with the place and is surprised to find some flim-flam and shenanigans afoot.
And push the button. What is he up to? We got some end rods. 4 diamonds for end rods. Wait a minute. End rods typically cost 1 diamond for 2 stacks.
But if he likes that, he'll really enjoy his next shipment of free glass. And that's pretty much it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixelriffs, and we recently may or may not have blown up the planet. Take a look at that in the end screen theatre, where we play the legendary Elytra map Terra Swoop Force and crash into a lot of things. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.